Yeah, it's the Weege show here. We are ready for another RedBud. I don't know who this guy is. He's wearing a mask. I don't know who that is. He's in disguise. We're shooting. We're getting ready today. I am wearing a jacket. Rained a little bit this morning. Track might be different for RedBud 2 on Monday because of that. Didn't rain super bad, but as you can see, it's cloudy. It might happen again. It's about noon here on Friday. No, it's Sunday, which is the Friday normally, the day before the national day. But it just happens to be a Sunday now because we're racing on Monday. But I just wanted you to note that I have the jacket on, and there's, okay, green on these trees. But if you look in the distance, here at RedBud, as I look at the very farthest vestiges of privateer and amateur parking, there are a few leaves on the ground way over there along that fence line. There's a reason I point this out. The difference between Michigan in July is what we're used to, and September. Okay, I've been here for 5 days now or something. It is notable. You know, you can still get warm days, I'm sure, in September. Summer actually technically runs until September 20th, something like that. So it's technically still summer, but in Michigan, there's a huge difference between July and September, at least as far as I can tell with this very small sample size of days. So that's a big impact. We tend to think of RedBud as one of the hotter, more humid physical test races. Can I get through here? It's not going to be the case. I don't think it's going to be unbelievably warm on Monday when we go racing either. So that is a significant change. And if you want to change even more, the next scheduled round of this Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is in Millville, Minnesota. Another one that we think of as being very hot, but it's probably going to be cold in Minnesota. Oh my God. Yes, Barry Carsten, collecting more Suzuki contingency all the way up from New Jersey at RedBud. I know his son is racing pro now and trying to collect points, but yep, that's Barry, baby, collecting Suzuki money. You collecting more Suzuki money?
No, there's none here. Just racing for fun.
Come on.
Yeah.
You've never done this?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd your boy do on whatever the first day we raced? I don't even remember the date.
He made second moto. He got 32nd.
All right. Yeah. So what about Millville? Maybe?
Oh, we're not sure.
You're not doing it. All right, that's the grand finale. Oh, there he is right there. That's Corey on the bicycle, and Barry racing for fun. He never does that. CeeLo there in that van. That's Jason Anderson's mechanic. Incidentally, by the way, the Weege show is brought to you by Honda. They got the all-new CRF 450R for 2021. It is the lightest, best handling, most powerful Honda CRF 450R ever. You'll put the competition on notice every time you pull up to the starting gate on that bike. Razor sharp cornering is the goal for the Honda. Now, the 2020 Honda is actually running pretty well with Chase Sexton. He got his first ever career podium. I thought it was cool that Sexton actually drove to Illinois, where he's from originally, and he did his chill time with his family because he doesn't get to go back to Illinois very often. So I thought that was cool. He said it's only like 2 hours from the track or something like that, where he's headed. But as much as I was talking about the long season and then, of course, the recovery between having only 2 days off between nationals, this weather thing is going to be a real change-up. So we're cramming more races into less time, but at the same time, most of these riders will tell you the real difference maker as far as fitness at their level, it's just the heat and humidity. If it's not as hot, I'll give you an example. I know I'm probably saying something you're like, obviously genius, heat and humidity makes a difference, but I've talked to the riders, say, when we race in Colorado, and they will tell you that the altitude in Colorado, if it's cooler, that's not nearly as draining a race as a race at sea level. That is heat and humidity. Heat and humidity is the ultimate X factor, and we do not have it here at RedBud. And I have a feeling we're not going to have it at Millville. So it's going to change the dynamic a little bit of this championship from what we're used to. But right now, firing on all cylinders is that squad led by Zach Osborne. Well, Jason Anderson's not here. He had a plate removed from his arm with surgery, but Osborne, with that 1-1, has really served notice. I now believe that the race coming up on Monday will be the most pivotal round of this championship this year. Osborne's plan, and I stated it on previous shows, he knows that if he can put some of these guys in the hurt locker as far as the points are concerned, and then we have a weekend off before Millville, it's going to be hard for those guys to really dig deep. during that weekend off and the time they have to try to get back in it. It's been a very long season. Emotionally, it's been weird. Riders have had more time to train than ever, which means they might be starting to crest the wave and start to get burned out. So who's going to be able to ramp it up to get ready for the race after the weekend off? And if you're staring at a massive points deficit, that's going to be really hard to do. Now, that's a good plan on paper for Zacho, but there's a couple things that might derail that. Two of the riders who've turned out to be really good, oh my gosh, can you believe this? I cannot believe it I'm seeing right now. Talk about recovery. Talk about recovery. That is ELI TOMAC playing basketball. Aren't you supposed to be recovering? We didn't see that. Do you play stick and ball sports ever? Like, there's two kinds of moto guys.
Only when we have double headers.
Okay.
Yep.
If you're tired at all on Monday, we're gonna blame it on this, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm serious, like growing up, did you do this stuff? You did, all right, because some moto guys hate it and some moto guys are just normal. So you're just normal, I would say. Played a little bit. All right, if you make one, I'll shoot it and then I'll edit that in. Oh my gosh, here we go. Better. Oh! At least you got rim. Getting closer. That's not bad. Dude, ELI TOMAC's a bad dude. Yeah! There's your 3-time champ, making buckets. Anyway, one X factor, the plan that Osborne has of, you know, if I could put these guys up against the wall or put their backs against the wall or paint them into a corner, whatever you want to say. It's too loud here with amateur racing going on behind me. I don't think it's going to be a factor for everyone in it. The traditional guys that you would have to go through for this title, Roczen not here, Tomac obviously, and Musquin. Musquin and Tomac are factors this year, but let's be honest, you got all these young guys, Cien Cerullo and Sexton, for example, and Barcia, who has stepped up the game. I think all three of those guys are super motivated. This is fun and exciting and fresh and new for Sexton and AC to be doing it on 450s. And Barcia, he is riding the confidence wave. He wants to win one of these races while he's going fast. So I don't know if it's going to work on those guys. I don't know if they're going to, you know, lose that edge just a little bit. But either way, they've got to have good races. The points lead for Osborne and the 3 moto wins, or sorry, 3 overall wins and 2 moto wins in a row, that is alarming for the competition. Now, as for the 250 class, we know how pivotal it is there. A big hit for Ferrandis with the first moto crash. Can he recover from that well enough? Can he bring the normal Ferrandis speed? Because really, if he doesn't gain points on Martin, if it keeps trending this direction, advantage Martin, race after race after race, I think the same thing. I think it's going to start looking more difficult for Ferrandis to get back in this. And remember, the next race, Millville, is Jeremy Martin's home track. Literally, literally, literally. Now, he hasn't always dominated there. It doesn't mean Ferrandis can't win. But it's just the kind of visual that it gives you going into a weekend off. Is it going to be desperation mode for Ferrandis, or is it going to be like, I still got this? It all comes down to this race on Monday. I think the most pivotal round of the championship for both divisions in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross this year. So we'll see what happens. It's the Weege Show, brought to you by Honda, the all-new 2021 CRF 450R. ELI Tomac's back there. I think he just dunked. He just dunked. See ya.